Brittney Griner was in a Russian prison. You would think that somebody who is now free, back in America on home soil, would not have too much to complain about.
I was a bit reluctant to talk about it because I know folks said we tried the quiet route. Now it's about bringing noise and putting a spotlight and putting attention on
fans in every sport. She described the fans.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what sport you are. It doesn't matter what sport you pick.
Welcome back to your daily dose of scandal and glamour. Stephen A. Smith just lit the fuse, and this one's explosive. He's claiming the WNBA straight up tried to pay him off to keep his mouth shut about the whole Brittney Griner situation. And if that's real, it could blow the entire league wide open. This ain't some petty sideline drama. This is the kind of scandal that keeps execs up at night. For years, fans have been buzzing in comment sections and forums, tossing around the same rumor that Brittney Griner might not actually be a biological female. And here's the thing, when Stephen A. talks, the world doesn't just listen, it reacts. His takes trend in minutes, sponsors start sweating bullets, and suddenly the league is scrambling like their season depends on it. Stephen A's already been beefing with the WNBA, calling them out for letting players publicly go after Caitlin Clark, claiming it's pure jealousy because she's outshining them. He's dragged out words like resentment and bullying in broad daylight, making sure everyone knows it's not just competitive trash talk, it's something uglier. Now imagine if he so much as hints at the Griner rumors. We're talking an earthquake, not a ripple. The WNBA has spent years polishing its image, but if Stephen A. decides to go there, no amount of PR spin, crisis management, or fake smile interviews will put this fire out. And let's be clear, he's not showing signs of slowing down. Whether it's ESPN, his podcast, or YouTube, he's been unloading on the league with zero hesitation. This isn't just noise anymore. It's a warning shot. When Stephen A. speaks, it's like dropping a match in a room full of gasoline.
For the dunk, and that's what the sellout crowd was waiting for.
Zargon finding Griner! Slam! Dunk!
As Griner comes up with a steal and maybe a little showtime.
Millions react instantly. NBA players jump into the conversation. Sponsors start lurking to see if they need to pull checks. And suddenly everyone's locked in. He's gone harder for Caitlin Clark than anyone else in the media, flat out blasting the league for letting her get bullied. He said it straight. The veterans are bitter, and it's embarrassing for women's basketball. No sugarcoating, no polite PR talk. And every time his mic goes hot, the internet lights up. Then there's Brittney Griner, a name that keeps coming up whenever cheap fouls and dirty plays against Clark get mentioned. Not long ago, she went viral for all the wrong reasons, caught on camera making a racial comment in the heat of the moment. The WNBA tried to bury it like it never happened, but the public wasn't having it. Now just picture Stephen A. going all in on that during his show, then casually dropping a sly hint at that other rumor that's been swirling around Griner for years. He wouldn't even have to spell it out. One side glance, one half sentence, and the whole internet would explode. That wouldn't just be a trending topic, it'd be an all-out scandal, the kind that could drag the league into a storm it might not survive. People online have been dissecting Griner for years. Her size, her strength, the way she dominates physically. And that conversation, it's not going away anytime soon. Every time Brittney Griner dunks, the comment sections erupt all over again. The league's thrown everything at trying to shut that chatter down, but it keeps crawling back. And now that Stephen A. is circling the subject, the heat's becoming unbearable. Things blew up fast. Stephen A. clashed with his critics, and the back and forth had fans losing their minds online. Some swore he was defending the game. Others accused him of chasing clout off a trending storm. But one thing's undeniable.
Team turnovers is which they average, they are last. BG staying with it. Jump ball is called.
When Stephen A. talks, the volume goes through the roof. You can hear the tension dripping off every word as neither side gives an inch. Then came the infamous showdown with Sue Bird in late 2023. Sue tried to brag about the WNBA's playoff ratings, acting like the league was finally breaking through. Stephen A. didn't just disagree. He torched that take, calling it disgusting and blasting the league for pretending their numbers were good when everyone knew they weren't. The clash exploded online, proving that even WNBA royalty doesn't get a free pass when Stephen A. has the mic. At one point, You could literally hear him snap, ripping her argument to shreds without holding a single punch. But the league's biggest problem isn't what's trending. It's what's being whispered behind closed doors. Word is some players are ready to break the silence, fed up with the way things are run, especially the blatant favoritism, the shady punishments, and the way the league shields certain players. And here's where it gets real. More than one player has called out the Griner protection policy. They feel like no matter how dirty things get on the court, she's untouchable.
Watch women's sports.
It's boring, respectfully. Okay. If I watch women's, because they're not like, when you watch men's basketball, like they driving it to the hoop, they dunking, boom, it's all like so much energy.
Yeah,
I feel like it's just layups. It's just a bunch of layups.
One fan even went viral for saying it straight. The league is actively protecting Griner and making sure nothing negative about her sees the light of day. That's wild. And the timing couldn't be worse. Sponsors have been pouring big money into the WNBA, expecting clean growth, polished marketing, and feel-good headlines. But instead, they're getting drama on tap. Griner's controversial moments, cheap shot fouls during games, and boiling tensions spilling into the spotlight. Now, investors are shifting in their seats, looking uneasy. And this isn't just about one player anymore. It's the entire system that's under the microscope. This isn't a PR blip, it's a fight for survival. The league's image is showing cracks, and fans can see them clear as day. Stephen A. hammering the WNBA right in the middle of all this. That's no accident, and people are whispering that something big might be brewing behind the scenes. Right now, the whole thing feels like a powder keg. One more scandal, one more viral clip, and the WNBA could be staring down serious trouble. What makes this even messier is that Stephen A. actually used to stand firmly behind Brittney Griner. When she stepped back from the game saying she needed space, he gave her that respect. No piling on, no cheap shots. You could hear the empathy in his voice, whether it was loyalty, sympathy, or just giving her grace. He truly held back. But that patience, it might be hanging by a thread. There's just too much building up, too many reasons for him to finally let the truth slip. And here's the kicker. The WNBA hasn't been standing alone. The NBA, and Adam Silver himself, have had their back for years. If Stephen A. finally flips the script, it won't just rock the WNBA.
Brittney Griner was in a Russian prison. You would think that somebody who is now free, back in America, on home soil, would not have too much to complain about.
It'll humiliate the NBA too. And with Disney holding the strings over ESPN, there's always that quiet, unspoken pressure on him to play nice, stay in line, keep certain topics off the table. That's the unspoken rule. And there's likely perks for playing ball. We're talking exclusive access, premium interviews, brand deals, even behind-the-scenes favors, all designed to keep Stephen A. from touching that one subject that could set the whole thing off like dynamite. Adam Silver's already made it clear the WNBA is on a short leash. He's been working the angles with team owners, pulling strings behind the curtain, making sure nothing spirals out of control. And Stephen A., he knows the media game inside out. If he were to speak on Brittney Griner's gender directly, he'd be walking into a minefield. Even with receipts, the blowback would be instant. Brands could cut ties overnight, activists would zero in, and just like that, the narrative flips from Stephen was misled to Stephen's attacking Griner. But here's why things are even hotter now. The WNBA isn't just dodging outside rumors anymore. They've got a storm brewing inside their own locker rooms. This year's All-Star Weekend wasn't all smiles and selfies. Players came out in protest shirts, reading loud and clear, "Pay us what you owe us." The message was impossible to miss. The entire squad turned the spotlight into a statement. Union leaders like Breanna Stewart and Natasha Cloud didn't sugarcoat a thing. They tore into the league's contract offers, calling them flat-out disrespectful. Insiders say the tension's been boiling for months, and now it's spilling into the public eye. The WNBA wanted clean headlines. Instead, they've got a mutiny brewing. Insiders are already whispering that a lockout could hit before the 2026 season even tips off. Breanna Stewart has even spoken openly about the crushing pressure players are under and why so many are done playing nice with the front office. The patience? It's gone. Now picture this. Stephen A., sitting on a pile of receipts, just waiting for the perfect storm. All it would take is Brittney Griner getting caught in one more messy incident, another reckless foul, another off-the-cuff comment she can't walk back. That's when he pounces, but not as the guy starting the fire. No, he'd step in as the man connecting all the dots, showing everyone how long this blaze has actually been burning. Every time new drama breaks, every time a controversy swirls around the WNBA, he stays just out of reach. He doesn't dive straight into the mess. He watches, he waits, and that silence, it speaks louder than a headline. He's never spelled it out directly, but the hints are everywhere. On his podcast, he's teased that the real talk about the WNBA is still coming. On First Take, he's dropped little bombs, quick, loaded lines like, "The truth always comes out," then leaves it hanging in the air. That's why the league feels like it's tiptoeing over broken glass. One wrong step, and the whole thing shatters. A lockout's creeping closer. The money fight's turning nasty. Sponsors are holding their breath. And through it all, Brittney Griner's name just keeps surfacing, and never for the right reasons. The WNBA keeps trying to spin the narrative, but no matter how hard they push, the spotlight refuses to move. And here's the part that's got the league losing sleep. If Stephen A. ever decides to go all in, if he lays it all out from what he's seen to what he knows, we're not talking about a minor PR nightmare. This wouldn't be damage control, it would be detonation. The kind of revelation that doesn't just bruise the WNBA's image, it could wipe it out entirely. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to stay in the loop with all the latest tea. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update, and I'll catch you in the next video.